Right. Testing. I think everything's working. I don't know. I hope everything's working. We'll have to see. I'm not seeing. Oh, wait, maybe now. I think my headset was disconnected slightly. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, the mic is on. Um, so hi. Live streaming from my couch because I had an injury this week, earlier in this week, on the way home from the urgent care. It was fun. Mercury Gatorade definitely got me in a spiral and or a spin. And you know, granted, I guess I should be grateful that my injury wasn't a lot worse. It definitely could have been, um, but even so, it's just kind of like, well, yeah, it could have been worse, but it's still not great. I ain't great. I ain't doing great. And I can't stand like I did last week. So I'm doing this from my couch, and it'll probably be for a very limited amount of time. It just depends on my pain level and what I can tolerate. Um, but hi, I'm here, and I am in a bit of a downer mood today. I did not want to do this. I'm literally only doing this for the plot, for the love of the game. Not even the love of the game. I don't love the game, but just truly have nothing better to do. I've been basically like maybe not bedridden, but I haven't really been able to do much this week. But lie down because I still have my sciatica issues. So sitting is not even an option. So sitting, standing, both out. This is the best I can do. Um, and that's very frustrating. I want to be out. I mean, it's not a nice day today. It's actually pretty gray and grim, but like, I want to be out. I want to be hanging out with friends and like around people and not stuck at home trying to heal and, all like deal with everything else going on. And then this also has delayed me being able to like I have been job searching and trying to find work, and now it's like I have to heal. I have to wait to heal longer. And that sucks. That sucks because I already was like I desperately need to work. And I talked about last week how I don't want to work. I don't think any of us do. But also I hate the work world that we live in, the, capitalist driven, you have to work or you die or you won't be able to survive. I hate that. It shouldn't be this way, but I also understand that as human beings we need to be doing stuff. We can't just sleep or lie in bed all day or do nothing all day because like you're gonna get sick of that. It's gonna fuck with your mental health. Still don't know if I should swear this early in the stream, but it didn't really bother me or didn't really have an effect last time. I don't even know how many people saw this. But yeah, I you know, I'm not feeling great is the thesis. I'm not gonna rant about it because other than like what I've mentioned about my knee and my sciatica, I don't really want to like put a ton of my business out there, and this isn't really the place for that. Like, I have a therapist. That's not y'all. If anyone is here watching this, and that's not really for the internet in general, but I also don't believe in like putting on a happy face and being like everything's great. What do you mean? I'm not suffering. Um, sorry, that was right in the mic. So sorry. Um, like, I don't believe in pretending everything's fine when it's not. So I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna be here like I'm happy. This is great. Life's going great. But and like this week beyond the injury has just effing sucked for me. I know I just swore, but I still I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules. Can you tell? Um, but this week has just truly sucked for me. Uh, like I know I think Mercury is in retrograde, and like I think Pluto is also at something. Multiple things are in retrograde, and I'm not even that much of a big like, oh, something's in retrograde and my week's going to shit, but it just I don't know, it feels like it's not a coincidence that like when retrogrades happen, things aren't great, and like that's part of the cycle. Like that's part of the cycle of life. Like sometimes things are good, sometimes things are bad, and it just you just got to ride the wave, right? I understand that like at this point, but um I don't know. I feel like I've been kicked, like literally kicked when I was already down, kicked in falling down, and uh, I feel like I'm really feeling the impact of like the stars or just like the universe, where we are, like I don't know. I do feel like I shouldn't complain too much or be seem ungrateful that again it could have been a lot worse. I fell directly onto my knee after I slipped. I slipped and my knee just banged dead on my knee. Um and it really could have like I could have broken something. I could have like things could be a lot worse. But I also just I feel like things could also be a lot better. That's kind of why I'm doing these streams because it doesn't have to be this way, and that's probably what I'm going to try to like name this going forward. Like it doesn't have to be this way. This week is going to be a little bit of a different tone or episode. I don't know. It's going to be different. It's going to be a fluke just cuz I'm not in the best space right now, and um need something else to focus on, and we'll hopefully go back to the standard programming next week, or things will improve in some way. But hang on, let me adjust my heating pad. Um, yeah, I've been pretty isolated most of this week. Haven't been able to leave my living space much, or see friends or do anything. I haven't even like been able to go to the like grocery shopping or like even to delis or anything. Like I can't. I've barely been able to like leave my house. Um, but my therapist said that I should still stream because consistency is important, and like all this other therapist stuff and opposite action and blah blah blah. Do it for the plot. I hate when that man is right. I hate when he's right. But or even when he's not right, I hate when I have to listen to him sometimes. I'm like, oh, like no. The day I listen to a man, no. um, but uh, honestly, this might be the only thing that makes me feel less awful right now. So I picked a couple of things I want to like good positive things I want to do, like a positive rant or like celebrate about or cheer, be happy about. I don't plan for this to be very as long as the last stream, like I said. Hang on, got a cough. But oh great, got something in my eye. Wonderful. Um but I'm gonna keep going until I get too tired or sore to keep going, essentially. And let's get into it. Um, so I'm laughing because like the topic is the reflecting pool or whatever, but I can't get over the fact that this man campaign. I won't say his name. Uh, we all know who I'm talking about. We're all the one person that we're all hoping drops unalived. I have to remember my internet, like, what can you say? What can't you say? Ooh, gotta avoid the moderator, or not the moderators, but the terms of conditions and whatever. Got to make sure I don't say the wrong things, or else I'll get demonetized. All that, all those hoops you have to effing jump through. Um, but yeah, I can't get over the fact that he campaigned on, like, oh, I'm gonna clear the swamp. I'm gonna drain the swamp. Bro, dead ass made a swamp though. He dead ass made a swamp, and he's arresting people for, like, looking at it, touching it, being too close to it, and it's just like, buddy, it's so on the nose. If we were any more on the nose, I think a dermatologist would be like, yeah, we should probably, like, get that looked at or check that out. Let's do a biopsy, because it's on the fucking nose. Like, what? I just, I also know. Let me get a drink of water first. I've been laughing, cackling actually, um, because I just know, I just know the mosquitoes in that pool, the reflecting pool, and in that general area are finna be insane, unhinged levels of mosquitoes if it's not already happening. And I don't know. I don't think this was very widespread or, like, very much talked about, but there was a whole thing, I think, with the Pentagon or something, where people, like, they weren't giving flu shots to the army people or the soldier, whoever, the people in the military, right? And then there was an outbreak of the flu. I shouldn't laugh because, like, it's not fun being sick. I know better than, like, most people. It's not fun being sick. It's not fun being bedridden. It's not good. I have to, like, statistically imagine some of the people that got the flu from this outbreak. Maybe, it's got to be a small minority, but a small minority of them have to be, like, not the worst people you've ever met, or, like, the worst people contributing to, like, what we have now. But they are also army people, and I like, I'm not gonna get into it on this, but it's just kind of like, you're low key a cop. What? Like, who said that? Who said that? Um, so, like, yeah, I just, the fact that there was a flu outbreak in 2026. I mean, clearly we've learned nothing from COVID. Like, so many people were so mad and so indignant about wearing masks. Like, this is impeding, this is trampling on my rights as an American to wear a mask. How dare you? This is fascism. And then actual fascism shows up, and those same people are like, no, come on in, take your shoes off if you'd like. You want to kill some brown people in the back? We got some brown people in the back. You might want to, like, and so, but, like, a flu outbreak amongst the military, like, that's insane. That's the universe being like, yeah, no, that's why you have vaccines. Like, we have vaccines for this reason. You should give them. And they reversed that policy. So, like, even the anti-vaxxers and the, like, science denial people within the government were like, yeah, no, maybe we should give them vaccines. I don't, this outbreak is pretty bad. So, like, that alone, that between the mosquitoes and the reflecting pool shit, and the military, like, all getting the flu, like, I mean, at least the retrograde is fucking people other than me. That's all I ask. Like, if I gotta get messed up because of the retrograde, like, also get the people who deserve it. Like, balance. Perfect. I can't even do it. I'm laughing too hard. Perfectly balanced. That's all things should be. That's all I asked for. Um. Yeah. Oh, man, and, like, the other thing about why, like, the mosquito thing got to me was because, like, I'm now like at the phase of my life where mosquitoes like me. They never used to like really land on me much or bite me much. And now I've become that person that like if there is one mosquito in a room or if I'm outside and there's one mosquito in my vicinity, it will land on me before anyone else. Like it may go for other there may be others that mosquitoes that go for others, but like they will go for me first. And I don't appreciate the switch up. I first of all it's rude, homophobic even. But like we were good, bro. Like I didn't like mosquitoes, but I was like, all right, they're not like great, but it's we don't got beef on site. It's not on site. And now it's just like, bro, if I had a pew pew and it was able to shoot mosquitoes, I would do it. If it wasn't like an over like insane level of overkill, I absolutely would. Some shits annoy the fuck out of me. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, look, if the people on the House grounds are getting what they deserve in terms of mosquito bites and having to deal with the flu and all the other like shenanigans and swamp conditions happening in that area, I don't know. Maybe I can take falling on my knee. I can take that L if that's the outcome. Maybe I'll make that sacrifice, which didn't affect my, you know, screw up my whole like plan, but I don't know. I don't know where I landed with that. Um, but yeah, he dead ass made a swamp. That's so crazy. Like his cult members were like, "Yeah, he's gonna drain the swamp." Bro, dead ass made one. Like, oh, how you feeling? How you feel about that? Anyway, um, so the next thing I want to talk about, this was just like a small thing. I bumped into a neighbor in my community, and they sent me videos of like um wholesome like World Cup moments. Um and they were really wholesome. They made me feel better. It like genuinely improved my mood. I will say there's a tiny part of me that feels like this is propaganda, from people, from international folks visiting during the World Cup, to be like, "Oh, America's not that bad. Like, actually, y'all have a lot of great. We do have a lot of great things, and like, not all Americans are bad. Not all Americans are racist. Blah blah blah. I don't believe in, um, fuck, I'm forgetting the word. Um, I don't believe in monolithing people. I don't know if that's actually a word, but like if you think about it, any group of people, like any group, any demographic that you can pick, not all of those people are the same, right? Like boomers, let's say people who are boomers. Not every boomer sucks, although a lot of them do. But like statistically, not every single boomer is going like can suck. There's got to be at least like one or two, maybe even five, that are like fine, or even like super progressive and hella cool. Like I'm not gonna shit on boomers just because a lot of them do happen to suck. So like I think it's important to remember that like no one group is a monolith, right? And I think it is a good thing that that international folks are coming to America and seeing like, oh, we the people are not our government. Just like no group of people from any country or any part of the world are their government. Like their government represents them. They may have even been picked by the people, but we all know that like voting, I don't want to say voting is a scam. That's a risky message, and that's not necessarily something I agree with. But I will say voting in America is very much kind of rigged, and kind of like they're continuing to rig it and making it less fair, less equitable, and trying to really really ramp up the fascism. So I can only really speak from America in that perspective. But like for me, I didn't vote for a lot of what's in the White House right now. I've actively voted and fought against it. for years. So I certainly wouldn't want to be looked at as the same as my government, because I don't got shit to do with those people. The only person in government that I semi rock with is Mamdani. And he's not perfect. I will like readily admit that he's not perfect. Um but and I don't believe in like worshiping politicians or don't worship humans. Don't worship a human person. Like, you can respect somebody, you can love them a lot, you can think they're a good person, etc. But I don't believe any of us should be putting anyone on a pedestal. It just leads to unhealthy and unsafe situations, and you know, I just don't think it's good for us. Like, we all have to understand that every single human being is flawed and an imperfect being, and they're not going to get everything right. Right? That said, I do very much appreciate a lot of what like Momdani has done and is doing and hopefully will continue to do. So I understand that, like, I don't know. You have to, you know, take a grain of salt with some things, and not universally love someone or like blindly follow or love someone. And that was kind of my concern with the World Cup, like, wholesome videos. Like, I don't want international people to necessarily be like, oh, you guys, like, everything's fine over here, you just because y'all are not your government, you know we love you. Y'all got ranch. It's amazing. How could anything be wrong in the country that has so much ranch? The ranch thing is genuinely hilarious, though. The fact that, like, the TSA is like, hey, you can't bring that. You can't be having that, my guy. And apparently somebody, like, or people have been chugging the bottles that they bought of ranch, and it's like, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of ranch anyway. I can't imagine chugging a bottle of ranch just because, like, the TSA won't let me have it. Honestly, I just feel like order that shit on Amazon. I hate Amazon. Don't I actively feel like people shouldn't order that shit, anything on Amazon. But also, it's like, you can probably get ranch in America, in not America, in wherever you're coming from outside of America, or order it online from a source that's not Amazon. Like, you can make it happen, or you can even just get the packets and then, like, wet it up. Wet it up is crazy, but wet it up like when you get back to where you live. Um, so yeah, I will say the World Cup feels, the vibes, the videos I've seen have made me feel some sense of hope, some sense of like, we not all bad as humans, and like some sense of love and, I don't know, belief in my fellow man. So I'm appreciative of my neighbor sending me those videos, even if some of it does feel like propaganda, or like, y'all liking us too much. We do deserve some smoke. Like, international people, you do have to hold Americans to the fire for a lot of shit. Like, don't let us slide, because there's some shit we need to have the fire held to our feet for. Um, anyway, I'm gonna move on to my next topic of Mamdani, because the whole rent freeze thing. I don't know how, like, far or well known that is. I think it kind of actually just happened between like today and yesterday, but like, that is pretty wild in a great way. And again, I'm really trying not to glaze this man, because I think, especially in America, we do have a problem of like, a politician does a few things, even like good, helpful things, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're Jesus. They're literally walking Jesus." And like, I don't think we should put anyone on a pedestal, or like I said, glaze anyone just because like they did, like, that's his job. He should be doing things to make things better for New Yorkers. And the fact that we haven't had a mayor like Mamdani, who actually is like making attempts to help people and like make things better for the city. I know he's holding landlords like responsible, or like I don't know if it was landlords, but I think he did do something about like ghost jobs in New York, which is also like that is the bane of my existence. The fact that we have ghost jobs on like Indeed platforms and job searching platforms because hey, I'm still looking for work and like obviously that's on pause because of my injury, but I've been looking for work for a long time now, like stable work. And the fact that the last job that I had, which seemed like my chance at stability, building a financial future, and like doing all the things I need to do, and I've been wanting to do, and had to put on hold because like I didn't have the opportunity to, and then like experiencing discrimination from my supervisors at a job that is supposed to like look at complaints about discrimination was such a mind fuck and was so frustrating and upsetting to have gone through, and to like I'm still going through it. I'm still recovering from the stress of what those supervisors put me through. And I do want to like at some point, you know, put all of them on blast, do all that, but I am not in a position to do that right now. It won't really help me. And um so I think anything that can like help get rid of ghost jobs, get rid of shitty employers or shady employers, and business taxic tactics is a great thing. And I've also like I've heard bits of criticism from people within my leftist community about Mamdani, and again, not trying to glaze him. I don't know all the things like I'm not like on top of everything he's done, good or bad, so I can't necessarily pull statistics and be like, he did this, this is good. He did this is bad. Like I'm not your guy for that. But um, I have heard people like saying that he's a disappointment as a mayor, and look, maybe it's me just being an optimist, or like being again maybe I am glazing him a little bit. I don't know. I don't think I am, but it is kind of like as somebody who grew up here and lived through Giuliani, uh Bloomberg. I don't even I think did Bloomberg I think Bloomberg came after Giuliani, but I don't really remember. It was a while ago. But, Giuliani, Bloomberg, de Blasio, and then you have to understand Bloomberg stole a third, not session. Why am I forgot. I can't remember the name of it. I'm so sorry. The ADHD is failing me. But term. He stole a third term that like legally he shouldn't have been able to do, and like shouldn't that we literally should not have let that slide as New Yorkers, but a lot of us did. I am not sure why. So 3 terms of Bloomberg, de Blasio, um Eric Adams, Eric fuck ass Adams. Oh, like that guy does not get enough smoke. He gets a good amount of smoke, but it could be more. He could be on fire, metaphorically, of course. Um, but like all my life, I've never had a mayor that I've been like genuinely proud of and happy to like say that's my mayor, for better or worse, or even just mildly like, yeah, he's doing some stuff. That's good. I've never actually been hype about a mayor in my city. Um, and even like I said with Mamdani, I'm not like his biggest cheerleader in the sense that like he can do no wrong. I'm sure he has and he will, like because we all do. We all fuck up. But I I don't know. I felt like mild frustration towards the people I was talking with because it's like none of you have lived here as long as I have, and that I'm not saying that in an elitist way, like, oh, you haven't lived here as long as me, you're not a real New Yorker, your opinions don't count. Obviously, they do, but it is like not me spitting on live, not me spitting into the mic. Oh, I hate that happened, but maybe I need to drink some water. I am probably gonna wrap up soon anyway, but I am getting tired and a bit hungry, but you know, I can't really fully be mad at him, you know, and I didn't push back in the moment because I kind of felt like honestly outnumbered, and I didn't want to be like, well, like I did. There was a lot of reasons, but I do feel like, you know what, even if like this were the last good thing that he does and he just coasts the rest of his term, like it wouldn't be enough. I hope, let me knock on wood, that does not happen, because like I don't want to lose hope or faith necessarily. I'm already jaded. I'm already like dealing with low grade depression, and like the world sucks, and I'm very frustrated and feeling out of sorts, all the things. Like I I don't want to like become jaded about things, right? But like I feel like even if this is all that, like the last 6 months or almost 7 months is like all we have from him, he's already done like years worth more of work than like all the mayors I've lived under combined. And so I feel like, yeah, criticize him or like, send him complaints, or be like, hey, you got to work on this. For sure, I do feel like he got to lower the metro card thing or make it free for like people that were born and raised in the city. I know that's like kind of a contentious thing. I know the whole J-Lo subway takes of it all, her being like, if you weren't born here, like, and it is kind of giving nationalism, or not nationalism, I guess, like, to be like, oh, I was born here, because what does that mean on stolen land? Like, I was born in New York, but I'm not a native New Yorker in the sense of like I'm not indigenous as far as I'm aware, or at least not enough to like claim like, oh yeah, this is. I won't say my tribe because that is kind of problematic, but I, you know, I don't have any claim as far as that. So I've called myself a native New Yorker before, but I'm like looking for a better term that both like describes the fact that I've been born and raised here, which I guess I could use born and raised, but also that like acknowledges that this land is stolen and that New York City is technically like Lenape, belongs to the Lenape indigenous folks, and that was their land. This is their land, and so. And then also, it's like, if you're a an immigrant and you come to New York, and you like, you may not, soak up much of the culture. You may not know a ton about what it's like to be in New York, to be in America. But like, what I love the most about New York is that wherever you come from, like, sure, you may not be like the same status as like the people born and raised here, but we are going to bring you in. If you're hungry, we gonna feed you. If you are looking for community, you gonna find it here. There's so many millions of different types of groups here of people, and you will find your people. You will find your clique. Um, it may be a little hard because there's a lot of people, and it, like, everybody is just kind of always in a hurry here. Like, nobody wants to, like, you're either out with people that you already know and you're not really like interacting with new people and meeting a ton of new people. I don't know. I found it kind of hard and easy to meet people here, in terms of platonic or even romantic or just community based things. But it is possible. Like, it's not, I know if you go to like, I don't know, I hit my computer. I don't know, Nebraska or some shit, Wyoming. I don't know if you're going to have as easy of a time in those parts of the world as you would like here necessarily, right? Um in terms of like finding your community. But I do know, like, generally you will find somebody or somebodies who you want to be in community with here. Um and I don't even remember why I got on this tangent, to be honest, but I know I was talking about Mom Donnie, but yeah, oh yeah, the native New Yorker thing. Um, I do feel like New York is the melting pot that America likes to think of itself to be. Like, we are the state that, or the city that people come to make a place that, make a new home and make new connections. And I think that gets lost in the whole, like, oh, I'm a native New Yorker, I've been here my whole life. Like, it matters in terms of the gentrifiers coming in and being like, I own this shit now, and it's like, girl, no you don't, get the fuck out of here. But it's also like, does it really matter if, like, does it really matter if this land is indigenous and was stolen from the Lenape peoples, and they don't have access or rights to their land? Like, does it really matter if I'm like, I was born and raised here? It's like, it was all still stolen land anyway. So, but I'll wrap that up by saying, like, you know, I know he's not perfect. I know New York is not perfect, but I appreciate having a mayor that doesn't fucking embarrass me as much as like all the previous ones have. And that does feel good. It may not last. I don't know what the future holds, clearly, but it feels good. It feels good to like feel proud of my city. The Knicks win also was like rejuvenized. It woke up the New Yorker in me. I was like, activated. New York mentioned. So yeah, I'll just move on to my last two topics. What? Oh yeah, I want to wrap up soon. Uh, okay. So I've been hearing about the UK slash European or EU heat waves. I don't even know if I have like much advice to offer, because like it gets hot here in New York, and it gets very uncomfortably hot. I am not having a good summer because of it. I've never really technically had a good summer here, but I also know, like, this term, as far as like crazy heat waves, like, we have them here, but they're not the same as, like, it's not the same as like when it happens in the south, or like in the, I guess, north. I don't know if it's northwest, I think southwest, yeah. Like, I don't know what desert temperatures feel like. And I don't, and inshallah I will never find out. Like, I don't want to find out, because I'm already suffering at like 85 degrees. Once it hits 90, like last year when it hit 100, oh my god, I was suffering. I was literally burning. Um, so I don't even know if I can really like offer advice. I'm not gonna clown the UK or Europe for like, because people are dying, and the reality is, like, most of the UK, most of Europe, their buildings are built to retain heat. They haven't really had to deal with like hot weather like this, because that's not really their climate. If you know anything about the UK, it's mostly rainy. Like, every once in a while the sun comes out a little bit. Like, sometimes even on like cloudy days there, if there's like a speck of sun, they will be flooding to the beaches and the pools. And it's not even like full sun. It's still cold out, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's a lovely day, isn't it?" That was a crazy accent, but they'll dead be like, "Oh, the sun's out, amazing," and it's like, bro, is it? Where is the sun in the room with us? So, like, I'm not gonna clown them for that. I am sorry that they're going through that. The deaths suck. That's not great. I I will say, like, if you can get rags, soak them in cold water, put them on you. I've heard, I haven't tried this out, but like putting like a bucket or whatever of ice by a fan helps cool things down. I also heard putting like turning a fan kind of backwards, to like, so the fan part that would be blowing air towards you should be kind of, um sorry, no, the back part of the fan that would be like kind of sucking in the air should face towards a window, so that, or No, I got that completely confused. I'm sorry. I'm clearly not the person to get this advice from, but I heard that if you like put a fan facing towards a window, it'll blow out the hot air, and like kind of get rid of it and help cool things down. But I also know, as someone that like struggles with, again, 85, 90-degree temperatures, sometimes like that shit is truly just a band-aid, and it is like you just gotta you just gotta make an ice bath, or you know soak your, like I've like gotten spray water bottles and sprayed my sheets down in my bed and just laid on there, and that does help. But beyond that, I don't know. Y'all may have to invest in AC. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to be mean. I understand this is a serious situation. I'm not like, again, clowning on that, because heat is no fun. Like, I'm not even dealing with extreme temperatures of heat, and I'm not having a good time. So I know y'all aren't, but yeah, you may need to invest in ACs, or just get a fuck ton of rags and soak them in water. Uh, get ice. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I am sorry that that's happening. I'm not. We're not doing great here either. But it is also a reminder. Like, this is why climate change should have been dealt with when like Greta Thunberg was like a child. Like, she was literally a child being like, "Hey, we should deal with this because it's gonna fuck up all of our futures, including mine. I'm a child. Hi, protect me." And most of the adults were like, "Oh, aren't you cute? You say such big words. That's crazy." Instead of like actually listening to her, and here we are, So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Let me cough one more time. Sorry about that. I saw a crazy video. I think on YouTube. It was called like Karen versus a Knicks fan, and it was just so much was happening in that video. First of all, this woman, this the I was about to call her a high calorie human. No, I hate that. I hate that. But she was a thicker person, and she'd climbed one of the like light poles and was sitting on top of it, and she honestly she had crazy upper body strength, like and I think she got into a fight with this like white Karen. I think the climber, the Knicks fan is black or of color, and they got into a beef, and then the Knicks fan was coming down, and the white woman was like blocking her off. So she like, tell me why she snatched this woman by her neck and threw her. I was cackling, and then this white woman just throwing punches at this girl, snatched her like by her back of her pants, pulling it down, and homegirl start working on this white girl, and her like she was getting hit in the butt, which is a crazy pause. And I don't know, she was a tank or something, because she just took them hits and kept twerking. It was crazy. It was the wildest video. There was a kid there, like the random commentary. There was some guy, some New Yorker in the background. She was on when she was on the light. It said like, one way. It had the one way sign. And this man said, "This is a one-way trip to the hospital." She falls. I, again, screaming, cackling, deceased. It was a crazy video, but it genuinely brought me joy from its insanity. I too hope to be able to twerk through a fight, twerk my way out of a fight one day. I'm like, girl, teach me your ways. It was so hilarious. But yeah, I think that's gonna be about it for me. I'm not feeling as like pain ridden as I thought I would, and this went better than I also thought it would. Um, I don't know. Maybe I have to do this. Maybe I have to keep doing this. But Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take care of my knee and my body and other stuff, and try to have a good rest of my evening. This did lift my mood a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like I came in here like I don't want to fucking do this. I'm mad. I'm tired. I'm feeling sad. I'm not here for this. And now I'm kind of like, maybe things aren't all bad. So hopefully this was mutually beneficial to you as well. Thanks for. I mean, I wouldn't join, but if you watch the VOD later, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I appreciate you. And hopefully next week I'll be better enough to go back to you know the themed kind of. It's not really episodic, but the theme of what I want to do with these streams, which is basically to be like, it doesn't have to be this way. Um, and I mean, I guess this is kind of a continuation of that because, like, despite the misery, I didn't allow it to be that way, and I allowed myself to experience some joy, and hopefully you did as well. So yeah, next week will probably be a continuation of like what last week's stream was. It's the topics and the rants and the comedy, the kind of uplifting aspect, and that's all, I guess. I don't know. Uh, yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. All right. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Hopefully next stream, and hopefully I don't know. Hopefully the retrograde lets me loose. Just let me loose, please, please. All right. Anyway, bye. Happy good. I don't know why I did that. Bye. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Happy Pride. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do for that, but we still got Pride over here. That's proof of it. That flag. No, I'm biting my flag. All right. Anyway, thank you. See you later.